Well, hello my little beauties and welcome to this live stream. This is going to be quite a short one. I have some work that I have to do that you don't need to see. It'll be a bit boring. So I'm just going to do 2 hours here today. And I'm going to be doing a wee bit of work on the video player. This is the video player that I'm going to be using for Speed Coding Academy. I've done a lot of work on the new Speed Coding Academy too. It's on my other computer. And here I'm basically just trying to get a new video player built. Now I have done a bit of work on this previously, maybe about a week's work. It's turned out to be quite a big job building these video players, which is probably why they're so expensive. I was looking around and geez, you can't even buy them. Everybody wants a monthly fee, you know. So I figured, okay, I'll just build a video player and that's what this is all about today. I have a little bit of Commodore music going on, and the great, the mighty Gear, all the way from Iceland, is here. How you doing, my friend? Welcome. It's so good to, I tell you, man, I've had such a rotten day, but I'm so glad to see you. Welcome. All right, let's get started then. So basically, I'm just going to be opening up localhost. And I had done a lot of work on this. It was on, I believe, Video Player Finish, something like that. And it was this one here. So, as you can see, it still requires a whole bunch of work. But I think we're going to be okay. Let me just crack open a little can here. Drink 'em if you've got 'em, folks. Drink 'em if you've got 'em. Cheers and tally-ho, and here we go. Alright, so this is actually functional, but as you can see, it's all over the place. So the first thing I think I'm wanting to do with this is build a little test page. Now I can see that I've got a thing here that says test. That's a nice start out of the blocks. I'm going to just go in here. I'm going to say class test extends Trongate. And we'll build just a nice test page for looking at the video player. So I'm just going to say function index. I'll say data view file equals test view. I'm going to say this template public pass in the data. So that's going to give us something like this. I'm going to take this. By the way, that was a great day yesterday. I got a whole lot done. So I was really pleased with that. Okay, oh by the way, I changed the board, so you're wondering. Just let me quickly show you for anyone who was here yesterday. So this is what's going to be on the board. You can see I've got it flashing here, but the idea is that this would be on a screen in the kitchen or at the front of house or whatever. I don't know if you heard that little noise there, like an aeroplane. Maybe if I turn down I'll let you hear that. Hold on. Okay. Alright, so I hope you heard that. So that was the sound that would come in whenever there's a new order. The waiters in the front of house, they would have iPad minis and they would be taking orders and it would all be talking to the kitchen and everything would be fantastic. I think that one's going to be good, but today is all about the video player. So let's build a little test page. Now, I'll just say section, do a little headline, something like that. We'll inspect, and I'm just making sure that we're looking okay on the mobiles, and I think we are. I think we are. That is fantastic. Okay. Now, the next thing that I want to do is get... I really want to get 3 videos. I need a low, medium, and high quality video. And I don't know where to get them from. I don't know where to get them from. Well, is there anything here? Yes, there is. So let me just view the page source here. I'm going to do a little search for .mp4. Okay, so I'm seeing a link on video player and it's vid.mp4. Alright, so let's quickly see if we can find that video here. I just want to see what we're dealing with and if any other videos are available. So I'm going to go to opt, lamp, htdocs, and I'm looking at video player. Okay, so we've got 2 videos. We've got speed is what you need, and we've got vid.mp4. Now, I am going to copy these little beauties. I'm going to take them over to video player fin. I'm going to go to public. I'm going to create a new folder called media. I'm going to chuck them in here. Now, let's imagine that this was on module 1. Just imagine that this is Speed Coding Academy. And let's imagine, let me think here. Okay, let's imagine that we've got a low res folder, a medium res folder, and a high res folder. Okay, so low res, medium res, and high res. Okay, now I'll chuck these things in those different folders, but I will need another video from somewhere, and who knows where. So let's just see. I'm going to need 3 videos here. So let's have a look. Okay. Now, no, none of these are going to really work for me. Let me think here. Okay. Right, let's do a wee search to Google. I'm going to say download YouTube as MP3 on Google. I think that one is going to do the job. Now, of course, I'm going to have to get a video of some sort here. So let me just say something like Looney Tunes, that's all folks, something like that. You remember something like this thing here, something short. Alright, there we go, something like that. So that's going to be our little video. And I'm going to head to this convert YouTube thing, chuck this in. Going to hit start. Come on. Alright, that one's not working. Let's try this one. That is exactly the same site. Okay, well that seems to have worked. So we're going to head in to where our site lives. So it's opt, lamp, HD docs, video player finished, public, media, module 1, and let's just imagine it's this one here, right? Oh, why is that saying MP3? Oh, I never meant that. No, did I just search for download? Oh geez, I meant to say as MP4. That was today's deliberate mistake of the day. Congratulations to everyone who noticed that. Alright, here we go again then. So we want an MP4. Continue. This site is actually quite good. So we'll make this the low resolution one. And standard, high. Gee. So it's got standard, low, medium, standard, high. Right, okay. Fair enough. So let's just download this thing. Here we go. Okay, so back again, it's opt, lamp, HD docs, video player fin, publish, public event, media, modules. Let's just chuck it right in here. Right in here. That's all, folks. And we'll just say, let's just save it actually right in here. Okay. Alright. Now, let's imagine that that's all, folks, is going to go in this low one. Let's imagine that speed is what you need is going to go in the medium one. And let's imagine that this video here is going to go in the high one. Okay. Now, I'm going to give them all the same name, the same file name. So I'm going to rename to my test vid. All of them are going to get that name. Now, of course, they all look different. I mean, they're completely different videos, but that's okay. My test vid, there you go, perfect. So we've now got a low folder. It says my test vid. It's got that Looney Tunes thing. We've got a medium folder, and we've got a high res folder. Let me just quickly click on this.
That's all, folks.
Okay, perfect. All right. So it is showtime at the Apollo. Now, okay. I've got a thing called Trongate Video Player here. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. But I'm feeling kind of crazy. So I'm going to take this Trongate Video Player. I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to just rename it as Video Player. And now I'm going to take just a few minutes to bring this one to life, and I'll put some music on if that's okay. We need a bit of music. Maybe not that much music. All right, and Stefan is here. How are you doing, Stefan? It's nice to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Stefan in gear, 2 pillars of the web development revolution. Here and in full formation. It doesn't get much better than that, folks. It does not get much better than that. Now, where it says video player like that, well, let me just see if I can find this. Actually, let's not mess about. Let's look for video. Let's look for Trongate video player and just rename it to video player. We're going to be case sensitive, and here we go. All right, now we're going to do one that's like this, and again. Very nice. Now we're going to say one like this. Okay, and now we're going to do an entirely lowercase one. Okay, fine. So we should now have a thing here. And we should be able to bring this to life. Now, let me do a little function here. I just want to make sure that the basic module is cool. I'm going to echo a little hello. And I'm going to head over here. Head over to the video player. I'm going to go to video player, howdy, and that's perfect. Okay, so that tells me that that module is working. Now, we are going to be building a page that goes here, and we are going to be we're going to pass in I'm just thinking. I don't know what we're going to pass in. Okay, I'm going to pass in a lesson code and a directory. This is very SCA specific, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. So let me just say data code is, in fact, I'll just, for absolute clarity, well, no, we'll just say ABC123, right? And then, okay, I'm going to say video directory, and I want to do a path that takes us to that directory. So it's going to be base URL, it's going to be media, and if I have a look inside this public folder here, you'll see that we've got module 1. There you go. So that is our video directory. Now I'm going to call it root video directory, just for absolute clarification. On our test view file, we can do a little JSON data. Perfect. Now, with this information, I'm going to have a quick look at this. Now let me think here. Okay. What I really want to be able to do here is just say this modules run video player draw video player and then pass in the data. That is exactly what I want to do here. And that's 100% doable. So let's take this out. In fact, let's just go like this. Maybe have a wee bit of lorem here. Okay. That's what we're talking about. So on video player, you can see that we've got a thing called draw video player. I'm going to call that draw video player old but good, because it's probably good, right? I'm going to say draw video player data. Now, okay, we're going to say data should contain lesson code, root video dir, and video lesson code, root video directory, and video file name. Now, as I'm really and truly making this up as I go along, I have no idea where I'm even going with this. But as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, do we really need the lesson code here? We probably don't. So let's pass in a token. I think that's it. Okay, so here I'm going to just say echo loading player with, we're going to say JSON data. Bring this up. Okay, so let's just say video file name. Now we know the video file name. It's mytestvid.mp4. mytestvid.mp4. And the root video directory is indeed this one here. And I'm going to just say data token equals okay, cool. So let's have a little refresh here. So we've got our token, we've got our video file name, we've got our root directory, and that is absolutely fantastic. Okay, now back over to the video player thing here. So I'm going to say data view equals video player. Now we do already have a video player here. I'm going to rename that to old but good. We're going to have a new video player.php. Going to go like that. Okay, now let's just say this view video player, pass in the data. Okay. Alright. So what if I say there you go. Okay. So let's think about what this video player actually has. Now I'll do a little H2. And we'll have a wee reminder. It's going to be something like that. So I'm going to do a script vibe. I'm going to say that the token is the token. I'm going to say that the video file name equals video file name var root video directory is root video dir. There you go. Now let's just do a little console.log and make sure that we've got this. I'm going to use backticks for speed here, and I'm going to say token is token and video file name is and okay, so we'll bring up the console here. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Okay, now it's saying that there's an error on root video dir. So, of course, we've called it root video directory. Let's call it root video dir. And there you go. So we've got our token, we've got our video file name, and we've got our root video directory. That is excellent. So immediately, I'm turning these into these JavaScript values. Now, I am going to reference this old video player because there's a couple of things that I'd like to see here. Okay. Okay. So on our video player page here, I'm going to say window dot add event listener, and I'm going to listen for a load event, and when a load event happens, I'm going to let's just call it load, or let's call it init video player. Okay. Now I'm going to say var my preferred. One moment. That's right. It's my preferred resolution is going to be empty. So when this page loads up, my preferred screen resolution is going to be empty. Now, if my preferred resolution is empty, then let's establish preferred resolution. So I'm going to say function establish preferred res. So that's that here. And I'm going to just say console.log establishing your preferred resolution. That's all we are looking for today, folks. So here we go. I can bring this thing up to the right hand side actually. And I'm going to refresh here. Now it says init video player is not defined. So let's just say function init video player, and I'm just going to say now I'm going to call this load video player because I think I've already got an init video player. So here we go. So establishing your preferred resolution. Alright. Now, the way that it's going to establish the preferred resolution is going to go like this. Check for local storage value. Step 2. If no local storage value, then calculate best resolution, and it's going to be low, medium, or high based on screen size. That's how this is going to work. So if somebody's viewing this on a tiny little phone, this will figure it out. It's going to save a lot of money actually and give people a much better experience. So let's look at how to establish this variable that we're talking about. Now there is a wee bit of code I've got for this. If I do a search for, okay, here you go. So it's basically this. Now, I'm going to say preferred res is going to be the name of this thing. So there's preferred res, right? So if that's the case, right, do you see how that's called my preferred res and this is called preferred res? These are little inconsistencies that can cause problems down the line. So when you're building, let's try and keep these variable names consistent, right? So it's going to be called preferred resolution, and the preferred resolution, okay, I'm going to just comment out here. I'm going to say no local storage info found. Otherwise, our preferred res, which is this thing here, and we're going to just say console.log local storage found, and your preferred res is okay. So just a wee bit of information. So it says no local storage info found. Perfect. So if no local storage info is found, then I want to figure out what the viewport size is. And here's how this is going to work. On our video player page, right around here, there's going to be a div with an ID of video container. So we're going to have a div with an ID of video container. There it is right there, okay. Now for the moment, and only for the moment, I'll do a little bit of style, and I'm going to say that video container has got a background colour of cyan. Let's refresh it. Okay, so let's just for the moment assume that the width of this thing is going to be, let's say, 760. And let's assume that the height is 400. Fair enough. Let's do a little margin, 0, auto. Okay, now what that size or whatever is in the real world is to be figured out later on. In fact, yeah, that'll be fine. But right now, if we look at the source code here, this is inside a section, and I'm beginning to think that maybe we should guess the quality based on the parent node. So I'm going to say okay, let's say var parent element is video container dot parent node. I'm going to console.log parent element dot outer HTML. Head over here. Oh, that's perfect. Alright, now let's say var parent element width equals parent element dot offset width. So I'm going to echo the parent element width, and there you go, it says 10076. Now let's make it a wee bit more narrow. Now it says 856. So we are now calculating the width of the parent element. Now the nice thing about that is that because I've done that, it means that I don't even need any of this stuff anymore. I can completely take this out and just focus on the code instead of drawing some stupid div, you know? So that's kind of cool. Now, let's have a wee switch statement here. So I'm going to say switch, and it's going to be a switch on the parent element width. For a case, where the parent element width is less than, let's say, 650. Preferred resolution is going to be low. Am I doing this right? You know what? I want to just be sure I'm doing this right. Okay. So default. Okay, so we'll do something like that. And here, well, let's do less than or equal to. And here we'll say parent width is greater than that. And parent element width is less than, let's say, 1200. Something like that. We'll call that medium. Actually, let's make this easier. Let's just say if the parent width is greater than that, then it's going to be high. Otherwise, it's going to be medium. So, based on some highly advanced calculations, the preferred res is let's check it out. So based on some highly advanced stuff, the preferred resolution is medium. Now, that is based off of parent element width being, and we know that the parent element width is 1187. So if we have a look here, we've got 1187. Now 1187 is indeed medium. If the parent element width was 300, this would say why the heck does it still say medium? I wonder what's happening there. Maybe in JavaScript the switch statements aren't too friendly when you do conditions in here. So let me just try another technique. I'll just do the same thing with ifs and else's. And I'll quickly check. Alright, we have a few people here. Dan's stuff is in. Nice to see you, Dan. Just to let you know, Dan, I'm going to be doing... and anybody who's interested, I'm going to be doing a free training session tomorrow at 7 o'clock London time. I'll write this in actually. Free Tron-Gate training session. It's going to be tomorrow at 7 p.m. London time on Skype. It's not going to be recorded and it's going to be free. And it's going to be just covering Tron-Gate, and it will be probably about 30 minutes. Maybe a little longer, maybe a wee bit longer, okay? What else can I tell you? If you're interested, add me on Skype. It's david.webguy. Awesome, awesome. That's really cool, Dan. Cool. I've only got like one, maybe 2 or 3 confirmed, so it's going to be quite low numbers, and that's good, you know. I'm not expecting a huge turnout. But it's the reason I mentioned it for you, Dan, is because you came on board at quite an awkward time there, because there's a few changes and stuff. And I thought the decent thing is to give some special training for people in your position. And that's the whole idea. But anybody's welcome. So we have Rats is in here. What language? Moa's JavaScript and PHP. Gems Lighted is here. Nice to see you, Gems Lighted. Welcome. And what else have we got? Ambient Revolution. What a great name. Ambient Revolution there says, whatever happened to the really cheap ThinkPad you found on eBay? I broke it. I'm a complete idiot. I purchased batteries for it and everything, and I was really excited about it, and I never had a screwdriver that could fit, and like a genius I used a butter knife to try and open it. Plastic snapped. It is now broken, and I feel like a complete idiot. It's right there in the corner, but I'm using an old ThinkPad today. This is a £300 ThinkPad I'm on that I got from eBay. It's 12 years old and I love it. I'm a huge fan of ThinkPads. I think they're awesome. Here comes Claudia. Hello to you, Claudia. I never noticed you hiding away. Check it out. Gear is here. Stefan. Dan stuff. Claudia Gems Lighted. The man with arguably the greatest site on the planet. Ambient Revolution. And, well, let's just say etc. It's very nice to have you folks here. So I think I'm going to have to do okay, let me just try something. JavaScript switch statement with conditions in each case. Okay, that's exactly what I was trying to do. So okay, I think that's the way to go. I don't like the code though. But let's just chuck this in. Alright. So we'll say if the parent element width is less than 650, then preferred res is low. Else, so this is going to be a double condition. So let's just say less than or equal to 1200 and greater than 650, and in that case preferred resolution is going to be medium, and here we're going to say if it's greater than 1200, then our preferred resolution is going to be high. Okay. Alright, so let's try that one. So low, based on the resolution being 300. Okay, so let's imagine it was 700. That would be medium. Let's imagine it was 1500. High. Perfect. Perfect. Good. So we'll go like that. Now at that point we have figured out what the preferred resolution is. So at that point we can console.log resolution, or more accurately preferred video resolution established. So let's load the thing. So when we get to that little point back here, we can just say load the video player. Pretty cool. And here we can also say load the video player. So what's going to happen is when we load this thing up, okay, so I'm going to say guessing preferred res of, and it's going to be preferred res. There you go. So see how it says guess it, or guessing, doesn't matter, but let's make it really narrow and we'll reload, and you can see it says guessing preferred video res of low. If we had a big wide screen, it says well, it says medium because this is inside a container, so that's okay. I can tweak these numbers later on, but for the moment I think that we are good. So let's just go like this, take this out, we're going to take this out, and we're going to take this out. Okay, perfect. Now, when it says let's load the thing, we're going to actually run a thing by the name of init video player. So we're going to go like this, and it's going to run init video player. Okay. And of course it says init video player is not defined, but that's okay, because what we're going to do now is on our video player page, we're going to link to assets.js trongatevideoplayer.js. Now I am going to be a wee bit of a pain in the neck and rename that to old but good. It's been a while since I've looked at it, and I just want to run through it. I'm just going to alert, or even console.log trongate video okay. So in here I'm going to go to base URL video player module assets JS and the file is going to be called videoplayer.js. JS. Okay. Alright, and so in here, over on the right, we're just going to say videoplayer.js. There you go. Alright, now it's saying init video player is not defined, but that's okay, because if we go here, we can say function init video player, and we can console.log, yes it is. Damn. Okay, so I'm going to go to network. I'm going to click all. Hard reload. Now I'm seeing this video player JS thing here. Let me just click in here. Open it in a new tab. And that is empty. Now that's a surprise. So video player module assets JS video player.js. I wonder why that's happening. Let me have a look. So we've got video player JS. I don't get that. I really don't get why that would not load there. I don't... Ah, do you know what it is? We don't need to say assets. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to say init video player. Very nice. So that is really, really great. Now a couple of other things I'm going to do. I'd like us to establish some important variables here that we may need. And we're going to have the base URL established here. So on our video player here, I'm going to just say base URL is that. So when we go here in this init video player, we can console.log. The base URL is, and we can even console.log. The token is. Alright, perfect. Give me 2 seconds, will you, folks? Alright kids, alright, and we're moving on and upwards. I think this has been quite a solid start we've made here. So, now I'm all about bringing back our code from the past and just making sure it's solid. Now I could copy and paste this and it would probably work, at least most of it, but I'm not that kind of guy. I like to just be quite precise when I'm testing stuff out here. So I'm going to go through each of these things one by one. And that is the plan. That is the plan. Now, let me just have a look at the old video player. Okay. Okay, we're looking, just seeing what we got, just seeing what we got. Okay, okay, what I think I'm going to do is let me just copy this and let me just paste in here and let me have a little refresh here. Okay, so I can see we've got a play button here. It's something. Okay, fine. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is okay, I'm going to attempt to build a video player. Now, in order to do that, let me think here. I need to know the width of the area we've got here. So basically I need to know this width here. So it looks to me like it's the width of the parent. So what I'll do then is attempt to build a video player. Now, let me have a look here. Okay. Alright. So we're going to send the we're going to send these three things. Actually, we're going to send all of these things. That's what we're going to send, okay? So let's just go like that for the moment. So I'm going to say var params equals, now I'm going to say token video container width. Now I'm going to say that that is video container dot offset width. Then I'm going to say root video directory, preferred resolution, and we don't need the base URL. I'm going to say var target URL is base URL API whatever, who cares. Now let's just say console.log json.stringify params. I'll head up here and you can see a whole bunch of parameters that we can now send across here. So I'm going to just take a wee trip here. Well, so much for that. Perhaps I need to go to the best JSON viewer site, which I use all the time. I just really want to have a wee look at what we've got, you know? And it's something like that. So, just for my own benefits really, I'm just going to go like that. And I'll just say sample data, something like that, okay? So we are going to send this to our video player. Now in the assets folder, we are going to have a file, and it's going to be called API.json. It's going to be exactly like this, right? So inside the assets folder of video player, it's a new file called API.json. Okay, and I'm going to say fetch video data. Now this is going to take place at video player fetch video data. It's going to be a post request, and what it's going to do is it's going to return information that is required for drawing video player. That's what this does. And enable params can be true, and for the moment, and only for the moment, I'll just say that the authorization is wide open. Just for the moment, right? Now let's build a little beauty up here on our video player controller file. Now I have it downstairs here. It's going to go like that, right? And we are going to try and get the posted data. So if we say API auth, it's going to respect whatever rules are in this file here. If we say, I can never remember this. If we say that, it's going to get the posted data. And if we say that, well, now it's really got the posted data. So I'm going to just echo, hello DC, you are looking good today, with a die statement. Now if I head over to API Explorer Video Player, damn, invalid table name. That's unfortunate, but I'll do a wee workaround. Let's just say ID okay, so back over here. Ah, give me a break, man. Ah, hang on. I see. So it's looking for some token authorization and bits and pieces like that. Well, no, that's what's causing this thing not to work. So what I'll do just for the moment is I'll grab some stuff from here. Oh, well, it would appear that we do have the modules and whatnot, but we just don't have the tables. So, in that case, okay, let me just go like this. With selected, I'm going to export, custom, view output as text. Alright, this should hopefully get us out of the starting blocks here. Fucking hell, man. Does anything work here? Alright, okay. So I think what's happening here is on this video player table here, it's freaking out basically because it's just got one column. So I'll chuck one other column in and I'll just call it name. I'll make it a variable character. Save that. Alright, thank heavens. So if I do submit, it says, hello DC, you are looking good today. There you go. So now I just want to test and make sure that this authorization is actually working. So if I do something like that, submit invalid token, or there you go, right? So this is pretty good. So now let's just make it wide open for the moment. Now later on this is going to change to members. In fact, there's a whole lot of stuff to remember here, so I'm going to have a new file and I'm just going to call it notes, and I'll just take some notes on api.json change auth to member. So only members can request the videos, you know. Make sure the settings are cool for that. Alright, good. So here we are, it's wide open and it says, hello DC, you are looking good today. So now we're going to say JSON posted data true, and it says null. However, if we copy this stuff, or maybe even get it from here, paste that in and go like that, there's our stuff right there. So we've got our video container width, we've got our root video directory, we've got our module, pardon me, that's the root video directory, the container, preferred res. I would like to know the video file name. So back over here, there's our video file name. Alright, there you go. So, okay, preferred video file name, right, good, we've got that. So, the sample data is actually something like that. And when we run this, there you go. So we've got everything, right? Okay, now let's try something kind of cool here. Let's assume that there's some weird authorization rule here, like this, right? And so when we go across, it's going to say invalid token, and you can see that we've got a 401 error here. Now, on this here, what we're going to do is we're going to post this data across to the target URL. So let me do a little search for http.send. Geez, I'm going to need to remember something. Alright, so let's try this. Const that, and then http dot open so I think it's going to be, God, I can't remember how to do this. Oh yeah. Okay, so on HTTP open, we just say post and then we add in that target URL. So I'm going to just say post and I'll add in the target URL. Then we say HTTP set request header content type application.json, then HTTP send, and we pass in json.stringify params. Okay, now sending to the target URL json.stringify params. I'm going to say HTTP onload. We're going to go something like that, and I'm going to console.log the http.status. There it is right there. Now allow me to just go back here, and I'm going to refresh. Okay, now obviously that was not the correct URL. The correct URL is in fact this here. So it's that. So back over here, we'll do a hard reload. And you can see that it says unauthorized 401. Now I'm going to say var status is http.status. If the status is equivalent to 401, let me just alert not authorized. Okay, so if we hard reload here, you'll see that it says not authorized in this pop-up. And in the case of this particular site, if they're not authorized, I'm going to divert them to the members login page. So I'm going to say window dot location dot href equals, and I'm just going to say not authorized URL. Now the not authorized URL is going to be right here. So I'm going to say not authorized URL is going to be the base URL plus members login. So now if I'm not authorized, we get diverted to members login, and that's actually perfect. I am delighted. Okay, now let me just do a little login here. Okay, now I'm going to echo anchor previous URL, go back, And there you go. Perfect. That's really good. Okay. Now, that takes care of not authorized situations. But of course, for the moment, we're going to just say that it's all authorized. So if we go back, we're going to get this. And you can see that the status is 200, right? So, back over here. And we've now got our posted data. Let's have a wee reminder of what this looks like. I'll just say sample data. Let's have a little indent. Okay, that's looking good. Now, because of the fact that we've got this API auth working, we actually don't need the token here. So we can take the token out of here. And here you go. So we're going to attach the token onto the header, which is the right way to do this. That's how we do this. And that's looking perfect. So now, here's our sample data. We can take this out. Okay, and in fact, it's just occurred to me we don't even need the video container width. We really don't even need that. So let's take that out as well. Oh no, we do need that. Do we need that? No, we don't. We don't need it. We don't need it. Okay, so there we go. We have some stuff, okay? Now, the goal of this is to just return the video path. That's all it has to do. So let's just say video path equals, and I'm going to just say it's going to be well, let's just try something here. Root video directory equals, and it's going to be posted data root video directory video res is going to be preferred res, and let's say file name is posted data video file name. Now with these three things we can build a video path. We can say that it's the root video directory. In PHP we can then do a little /, join on the video resolution, another wee /, and then join on the video path. There it is right there. Now let me just echo this video path, maybe even with a little die statement. if we go back here and hit submit, there you go. So that's where it thinks the video lives. Now, the great test of all tests is, if we chuck that in our URL, well, it actually looks as if it's trying to load it. So that might be kind of cool. You just never know. So what I'll do then is we're going to just say HTTP response code 200. I don't need to do that, but it's kind of a proper thing to do. Then I'm going to echo video path, and I think that that is all we need. So if we now go like this, and we'll head here, and let's just say else if status is 200, then I'm going to say var video path equals HTTP response text, and I'm going to console.log the video path. So here we go. And there is the video path. So now that we have a video path, I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take this out. Do something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to just say, let's build video player, and we'll pass in that all important video path. So let's go right here, build video player, and I'm just going to be really deliberate here. Building video player for, and we'll add in that video path. So building video player for blah 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 blah. Excellent. Now, how do you build a video player? Well, let's just say var vid is going to be this video player here. Now let me just have a super quick look at something. Okay, this is what we're trying to build, right? So at the top of our video player.js thing, in fact, let's be consistent about this. Okay, so right here, I'm going to just say var vid. That's all I need to say. It just means that this video thing is going to be a universal thing, you know, available throughout all of the script. So now, when we build the video player, what we're trying to do is basically build that. So I'm going to say vid equals document create element, and the element is a video. Now I'm going to say vid.setAttribute. I'm going to give it an ID of video player. Then I'm going to say vid.setAttribute. I'm going to say control list is going to be no download. And then I'm going to say vid.innerHTML equals I'm going to take all of this stuff here, and for the source going to go like this, and then chuck in the video path. So that's our inner HTML. And then if you look at the video player here, we do have a video container. So I'm going to say video container dot append child, and we're going to append the vid here. So here we go. And you can see right away that we've got this Looney Tunes thing at the background, which is quite promising. If I make the thing a bigger screen and go like that, now you can see we've got the other video here. So it's definitely doing something that is kind of cool. And the really nice thing about it is it seems to be doing a reasonable job of resizing and all of that, but we'll worry about that later on. Alright. Now, let's see what we can do next with this. Okay, so we've built a video player. In fact, I liked it smaller. Okay, here we go. Right, there's our video player, right? So the next thing I want to do is I'd like to give the video player a background image so that it looks kind of cool, and I cannot remember how to do that, so give me a minute. There is a way. Alright, I'm going to need to Google that one. JavaScript video player background image. No, there's a way to do it. That's not it. Video with background image. Here we go. That's not it either. There is a way to do this. No. There it is. It's called poster. I knew there was something. So back over to this thing here. So we're going to the bit where we build the video player. And we want a thing that says poster equals. And ideally, we should get a picture inside this, you know. Now if you look inside images, we've got these black curtains going on here. So we should be able to say vid dot set attribute. It's going to be called poster, and the poster is going to be at base URL, which is available here. We're going to add on video player module, then images, and then it's called black curtains dot jpeg. Okay, there you go. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Excellent. So we are most definitely drawing a video player here, that's for sure. The next thing I want to do is I'd like to add a play button onto the center of the video player here. So I've got a thing called big play button, and if I just find okay, I can see we've got a wee bit of CSS going on here. Alright. So for the moment, I'll chuck in a wee bit of styling here. I'll go like this with this big play button thing. And what we're trying to do here is build an image like this. So let's go to the build video player thing again. This is what we're trying to build. Something like that. So I'm going to say var big play button is, and it's going to be document dot create element. We're going to create an image. Is it img? I think that's what you do. Now let's say big play button set attribute. We're going to say id is big play btn. I'm going to say big play button set attribute source. So the source for this is going to be base URL, adding on all of that stuff there. I'm going to say big play button set attribute alt is, I'll just say play video, and then I'm going to say video container append child of big play button. Okay, here we go. Okay, so our big play button is just not quite happening there. So let's think a wee bit about this. Okay. Let's see if we can do a wee bit of styling on this thing and get it where it needs to be. Alright. Now they're saying opacity is 0. Why is it doing that? Let me just say opacity is 1. There it's right down here, okay. So let's say then that position is absolute. Top is 0. Oh dear. Well, that's not too good. Right, suppose we flip these. Okay, and let's suppose we say ah. Well, there you go. We've got a play button. Now, let's bring that opacity down to 0 again. And after we build the play button, I'm going to just say big play button dot style dot opacity is 1. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay, now I think computer, how much time's left till the alarm goes off?
Your alarm is not set.
Computer, how much time is left on the timer?
You have 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on your 2-hour timer.
Okay, so I've got 3 minutes left, right? Now let me just... Okay. So what we'll do then is on the big button, and this might be my last thing of the day, I'm going to say big play button set attribute, on click, and that is going to run play pause like that. So we're going to have a little thing called play pause. That goes here. And we're going to have a thing called started play. Now I'll have this here. So I'm going to just say var started play is false. And when you hit play pause, it's going to remove the player, set started play to true, and then it's going to play the video. Now I'll comment these things out here. We're going to save, have a little refresh. So I'm going to click, oh you miserable such and such, big play BTN is not defined. Okay, that's fine. So let's just say var big play BTN, and then when this thing's doing its magic, we're going to go like that. Going to click, and there you go. And that is all, folks. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. So that's excellent. I'm really pleased with that. We've now got a nice page loading up here. Draws a basic video player. And that is fantastic. If we're on a bigger screen and we load our video player, then we're going to get a different video. Now those videos have nothing in common whatsoever, but the idea is that eventually this is going to be serving out low res, medium or high res videos, depending on the user screen size. Computer, stop. So that is truly the end of the day. Thank you so much, Gear. I think that was an excellent coding day. I'm going to be doing a wee bit of miserable design work for the next few hours, probably for the next 3 hours, but nobody wants to watch that. There's no coding and it's just boring, so that's why I'm switching off for that. I've been doing, just before I go, I'll tell you a couple of things that might be useful. One of the things that I've really struggled with over the years is overwhelm and just having too much on in terms of projects and whatnot. And I've struggled with, well, how much do you do and how much is too much and where's the sweet spot? And what I've discovered is that the sweet spot is 2 projects. So it really doesn't matter how enthusiastic you are. I've ran surveys before. Did one the Insider Club. I had a lot of people in it. And I said, look, how many hours of focused time do you have per day? And most people have only got about 4 hours. And then they kind of burn out. So for better or for worse, we've probably only got about 4 to 6 hours of really focused time. Given the fact that it takes you a while to get into things, I've now came to the conclusion that 2 projects is the limit. So all I can work on per day is 2 projects. So this has been this project. I'm now going to go back to this restaurant thing. But it's going to be design work, like I say, and you probably wouldn't even enjoy it. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing now. I want to thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Ed showed up and I never even noticed. Hello, Ed. And hating rewrite culture, but rewriting whole system back again. Somebody who's just written the story of my adult life. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for being here, folks. I really appreciate it. Take care, And I will see you very soon, I hope. Cheers now.